All right, let's do this, Internet. This is a Foursquare review. I've been meaning to do one of these for a while. The delay was mainly due to my not being able to find a good sparring partner for it. I really try to find points for comparison when I do these things, and the fact that I had so much difficulty finding one is going to be one of the themes of this review. So I finally settled on this. This is Cadenhead's Classic by the Springbank guys in Scotland. So let's get this going. Start with the Cadenhead. So the thing to know about this, I got this on the closeout rack, but the retail price for this is about $60, and it shouldn't be. If you look at sort of overseas pricing, the equivalent of this would be about $40. So the thing is that Springbank products are just kind of grotesquely overpriced in the American market. This should be, really more of a competitor for Appleton 12, Real McCoy 12, that kind of stuff. Not so much, the stuff in the $60 range. So what this is a Cadenhead's is the independent bottler under Springbank. This is I guess a standard line of theirs. It's not an individual barrel. It's a 5-year-old blend of column and pot still stuff, which is why I picked it. So is this. They're getting it from Barbados, Guyana, Jamaica. Sounds normal. But also Panama and Trinidad. Those are the interesting ones. Let's see. No color, no added sugar, and no chill-filtration. They actually say it on the back. Good for them. And there's this little wheelie deal on here, which looks kind of cool. Anyways, so initial notes on this. Okay, rum. I mean, you're never missing this one on a blind tasting. It smells like pirates and the sort of cartoon caricature version of rum. And okay, so first off, molasses, sort of just straight up molasses. A little bit of a rust note, which is always sort of that there's a kind of nice rusty thing which goes on when you have a blend of pot and column distillate, and it's coming out here. It's kind of a dead giveaway. A little Colombian coffee beans, like South American, not Brazil, Colombian. A little tar, a little tarriness, not too much. Like a black olive, like just one. Irish breakfast tea, not English, the Irish one. I don't know what the difference is, but the Irish one is kind of more aromatic. Kind of banana peel, a little white pepper, a little sort of dried fruit, kind of a raisiny, pruny thing, but not very well defined. Just kind of dried fruit in general. Banana peel and kind of cigar ash note, Maduro leaf cigar ash maybe. Nice, a little simple, but nice. And on the palate, okay. So from my reading of the back, you're expecting, really, it's going to be the English colony stuff leading the way. It's actually, if anything, it's almost the Panama or maybe even Trinidad leading the way, and then sort of the, Jamaica's in there. Jamaica's playing around in this, but it's kind of bringing up the rear. It's kind of bringing up, lifting it a little bit, right? But the base seems to be those sort of, heavily wooded column distillates from, I would say, Panama and Trinidad. Those would be my guesses. Breakfast tea again, Irish breakfast tea. like a kind of burned nutshell-y thing. Like if you just took a flamethrower to a bunch of nutshells. Black Twizzlers, so not like classic old Eastern European um, licorice, but more like just like the Black Twizzlers. You know those. Tobacco, burley. Not so much the sort of nice, you know, bright flake stuff. This is burley. This is the heavy nicotine stuff. Like some mint leaves. Little that one olive thing again. Um, that tarry note again. Uh, some like plantain skins. Like if you toasted some plantain skins. That ashy note again. Nice. It's a little comes off a little thin. This is did I mention this is 50% alcohol, which is kind of nice. I mean it was $40. I mean this is this would be a killer deal. The problem is that we'll come back to the price in a minute, but little thin. And some nice, again, kind of general dried fruitiness stuff coming through. I mean, it's a bit nice but simple and thin. That's about how I would sum this up. I'm gonna give this like 2 squirts of water. I'd say 2.5 actually, and we'll come back to it for a final score in a minute. But first, the Foursquare. So, Foursquare on Barbados is arguably the when whiskey heads go for rum, this is the one they go for. This is the, I mean, it's not quite hit antique collection levels of insanity, but this is starting to turn into collectible. Very good producer. This particular one is the 2007 vintage. They do vintage bottlings. They also do others, but I think the vintage bottling is the one to go for. This is 12 years old. All ex-bourbon cask. We call it the exceptional cask selection. But that just means this is the 2007. That's it is a blend of pot and column distillate, released March 2019 at a strength of 59% alcohol. 12 years old. And I believe, no sugar or other flavor has been added. No mention of filtration, but they're lining up. It's pretty good. Okay, here we go. Once again, rum. Okay, that rusty note, a little bit still there, but there's other stuff kind of floating around, covering that up. So there's this thing we have in the I guess in the South, I guess it's a Southern thing, which is pineapple upside down cake. It's sort of like a pound cake that's got like pineapple and like fruit syrup, and that's kind of what I'm getting sort of right up front. But also, again, if you're like a pipe smoker, one of the favorites among pipe smokers is Samuel Gwyth, the full Virginia flake. Go look it up. It's impossible to deal with. It's a pain in the ass. It's always either too dry or too moist to smoke. But if you can find that sweet spot, it's magical. But and that's what this smells like. It smells like flake, tobacco at its best. Sort of leafiness, tobacco, dried fruit. Beyond that, you've sort of got a little not leafy mint, but more like that the red and white mints, like one of those. Throw those in. Coffee, but like office coffee, so not great coffee. Fruit syrup again. A little. Yeah, let's say white pepper, cinnamon, clove, um, kind of anise note, like a little bit of absinthe, but um, it's a couple things sort of around the anise. Um, dried fruit, more like dates and figs this time. Um, a little bit of like a coconut flaky thing. Really, what I was smelling here is recharred casks. I think that's part of the magic of this. I know other channels on YouTube, particularly Ralphie's, speak badly of the sort of dechar rechar cask thing. Um, and it's cheating a little bit, but it's a great way to sort of deliver tons and tons of oak without with a lot of the oak astringency have already been pulled out of the barrel. Yeah, it just smells like recharred oak and good rum. On the palate, big, um, very sweet, very spicy. Tastes like rum in a really good rechar cask. So you know, simple syrup from brown sugar, like real brown sugar, not the crap where they just sort of mix molasses in. This is like the actual stuff. Um, but also wood sugar as well. I don't know if you can make a simple syrup from wood sugar, but something like that. Pound cake, black pepper, um, something herbal on the back end, like a menthol more so than mint. Black olives, almost like a rubbery thing. There's it feels like there's more sort of heavy estuary pot distillate in this than in this, but I'm not actually sure. Um, Licorice again, but this is more like you know old school grandma's salted black licorice than the Twizzlers thing. Um, Cinnamon, kind of like a big red gum thing. Um, oh, like root beer. That's actually really obvious. Um, no, birch beer, more so than root beer. Like the hardcore stuff. Little shortbread, like the Walkers. You pay like $5 for a little box. Um, and something tea like, but hang on. Kind of like southern sweet tea, like brewed on the porch. It's a little bit too strong to take. Um, so I like this more than this. Let's put that on the table. I mean, this is just extremely well calculated, very multidimensional. You have the sort of big um, woody notes, but there's also a depth of I guess it's provided by the pot distillate. Little funk there, not too much to throw things off, or really challenge the whiskey drinkers, but it's there. It's delivering. It's just like you go to a high end restaurant and you pay way too much money, and the guy brings something out and it's just well built. That's what this is. This is well built. All right, I'm going to add some squirts to this and come back to it. Let's see if that does it. One more. Okay. I won't overwhelm you with history of Foursquare and all that stuff. You couldn't get that elsewhere. This is kind of the okay. First of all, I won't score this yet, but this is like really good. It's kind of the state of the art in this style right now. There are a lot of Foursquare fanboys running around the internet, saying Foursquare is the best and all that stuff. And the thing is, they're not actually wrong. But I think that says more about kind of the other distillers out there than it says about Foursquare. They're not performing magic here. This is, they got a industrial column still and they got a pot still. They're making their stuff. They're putting it in good wood and they're, letting it age for a long amount of time. And they're presenting it with integrity, like high proofs, no sugar added, nothing. It's no tricks. Like any, there's a dozen distilleries that can do that sort of, and even if they don't have the stock, like on Barbados, I think maybe only Mount Gay has the stocks. And there's Mount Gay is starting to tiptoe into this, but the prices are stupid right now, so I'm not going to bother. But West Indies and St. Nicholas Abbey, they don't have the stocks to do this yet. But other distilleries that probably can, like Appleton could. They could put out something like this, in not a huge amount of time. Could Diamond, El Dorado, in Guyana do it? Yeah, I think so. What about the St. Lucia distillers? Those folks, and we all remember fondly the Hamilton cask from there. You blend that up with some good column distillate, and you got something. I could go on, like there's probably half a dozen distilleries that, if they put their mind to it, could probably produce a good competitor to this. And sort of the question on my end is, why is no one stepping up? Where's the competition, guys? Like, you're leaving this single blended molasses-based rum category kind of just these folks, and that's what's up? Like, I got money, I'll pay you. Give these folks some competition. Anyways, let's go back to the Cadenhead Classic. See what this is doing. Now there's some water in it. Fruity's up a lot, actually. Like just prunes, dates. There's a like the candy orange slices. There's a bunch of those in here. Like cigarette smoke, but like nice, like artisan cigarette smoke, like like rich college students would spend money on. Not hugely complex, still a little bit simple, still a little bit not one dimensional. That's like two dimensional. Sweeter, but also smokier. So dates, figs again, orange slices again, but then like there's some like again cigarette smoke or maybe cigar smoke, and the finish is a little bit ashy and bitter, kind of a burned herbs kind of thing. Still a little thin, and also still a little bit simple. Not bad though. I mean, the problem with this, I think, is just the price. If this were $40, it would be, interesting competition to, say, Appleton 12, for example, right? That's older, but this is bottled at higher strength. Those two can box. I think that would be a fair price. But at 60, this is running up against this guy's little brothers, the Sagacity or whatever the hell that's called. And this is not winning that comparison. I would give this, 82 points. I was tempted to go higher, maybe a notch higher, but the thing is, like, when it's just late in the evening and my wife and I are watching The Expanse and complaining about how bad it's gotten, this is never the one I feel like reaching for. It's just not. It's a little dull. It's fine. It's just, it's a rum. That's kind of what it is. But if you're looking for a kind of rummy rum of this sort, I mean, the Hamilton Navy Strength that I just reviewed, I mean, it's kind of, it's not as aggressively oaky. It's but it's got more pot distillate kind of lifting it. And I mean, it's half the price of this, at least retail, and it's a little bit stronger too. And that's the one I'd send you off to. I mean, this is, again, convincing at $40, but not at 60. And I don't know, whoever's bringing Springbank in, I mean, what's going on? Like, honestly, I know, Springbank gets probably Trump's stupid tariffs, but are there tariffs on like Scottish rum? I don't know what's going on. Anyways, 82. Back to the one you care about, Foursquare. All right, let's see what some water did. Actually softens up quite a lot. This is like pillowy soft now, but it's kind of that nice rust. If you could make a pillow out of rust note leading the way, but then like coffee cake, confectionery stuff, like a little wood smoke, a little brine, maybe like one green olive, some lime juice in there, vanilla ice cream on top of your coffee cake, and then kind of a used coffee grinds kind of note. Not like it's been sitting out for days. It's like you just made it. Okay. But it's still got everything from before. It's still got the sort of upside down cake thing and the full Virginia flake thing. On the palate, very, very well constructed. Kind of gets kind of more sweet and sour. Kind of some nice wood bitters on the finish that I like. Lime, again, more of that sort of brown sugar simple syrup kind of thing. Yeah, that it's kind of absinthe, a little bit of an absinthe note. Tar, old nutshells, lots of nutshells actually. Maybe macadamias. And there's like my wife likes an ice cream called Cool House Dirty Mint, I think it's called, which is actually made with like just dirty mint leaves in the ice cream. It's great. And there's a little bit of that in here. It's sort of like dirty mint ice cream. Just extremely well made. This is, kind of the benchmark for the style at this moment. And, I would love to sort of compare it to something else, sort of, it's equal in the same style, but there just isn't anything right now. So, that may change in 2-3 years, but right now, this is kind of what you got if you like this style. So I'm going to give this 89 out of 100. I could see people going up to 90, but I mean, it's extremely well made, but it also doesn't have quite, the sort of magic. And I tend to give sort of above 90s kind of scores to things that just kind of leave me in the dust to some extent. Things that just cease to be objects after a certain point. There's no sort of comprehending them and breaking them into bits and pieces. You just kind of have to, tag along as best you can to, as to what they're doing. This isn't that. It's not that hard to sort of understand this. And to some extent, Foursquare always remains within a very sort of tight style. There's different finishes, there's different bottlings and vintages, but it's all kind of one of my favorite suit brands. What is it called? Let me look it up. Hang on. Norman Hilton. Norman Hilton, which is closed. I think they always try to bring it back every couple of years, and it's not going to work. They had a motto which was doing one thing well. Doing one thing well. And you could apply that to Foursquare. They do one thing. And they do it very, very, very well. 89 points. Just kind of the state of the art. within this style. And that's great. That's kind of all I got. Hope this is informative and useful, and cheers.